Hello friends and welcome back. So in this session we are going to learn how we can create a free EC2 Linux machine on the AWS cloud. Okay, so if you have a good knowledge on AWS, you know about the AWS very well and you know the process of creating the EC2 machines, how to access that and how to execute some initial commands, okay, after the creation of the Linux machine. Then you can skip this section, you can directly go for the installation section, or you may have your own machine, you don't want to go on AWS, then again you can skip this section. But I would recommend to go with the same approach that I'm following. You will get an exposure of the AWS as well. Okay, and then you will understand multiple other things as well. When we build a machine from the scratch, there are multiple things that we need to execute. So you will get a good understanding from that perspective as well. Okay, so to create a free account on the AWS is very straightforward, and I have already a video is posted on the channel. This is the link of the video, or you can search on our channel with like AWS EC2 machine, then you will get the link of that particular session. So it's a straightforward. You need to provide some of your basic details like your email ID and then your phone number, contact number, and then you need to authenticate yourself with a valid credit card. Okay, so AWS is not going to deduct any money from your account. It will be small amount, a small fraction of a dollar or a small fraction of a rupees. Okay, that's just for the testing purpose. And without your consent, your money will not deduct it. So don't worry about that one. You can create your free account, and after that, there are multiple resources that are free for use. There are multiple resources that you can create, and which is under the paid payment term and conditions. But for your practice and demo purpose, the charges will be very less. You can create your EC2 machine with the high configurations, and you can, when you're doing some exercises, you can bring up your machine, and then once your work is done, you can bring down your machine. Okay, then you don't need to pay anything about that resources. Okay, you have to pay only for the storage. Okay, and that charges will be very less. Also, in a nutshell, you can utilize your AWS account or the machines and resources for your complete exercises, right? So you can follow this particular link, okay, to how to create an AWS account in the AWS, and then it's a very straightforward. Let me tell you, okay, you can just go to the browser and then you can just search for AWS free sign up, okay, and once you will search for the AWS free sign up, then you will land up on a page like this one, AWS free cloud computing AWS. You can click on create account. Okay, and then in the create account, you will get an initial page where you need to provide some basic details. You need to provide a valid email address. You will be uh, have to validate their account. Okay, and then you need to provide your basic details and then authentication with your credit card. Okay, and your account will be ready in a couple of minutes. This is a very straightforward way. Right. So now once your account is created, you need to log into your account to create your machine. So you will get this AWS login console. So here you have to select the root user. Okay, you have to log in with the root user. So you need to provide your username and password there. So I will log in with my username and password, which is digitalk.fmw@gmail.com. Okay, then I need to provide my username. Okay, multi-factor authentication enabled. Okay, so let me try it again. Okay, that was some different error. Okay, so now I can able to log into my machine, right? AWS account. Okay, so here to create your Linux machine. Okay, so the different resources are different categorized in the different categories in the AWS. If you are not aware about that and if you are a beginner, okay, then the very first thing, once you log into your EC2 console after creating your account, make sure to select the particular region. Okay, and select the region which is near about to you. Okay, you to get a good performance. So make sure whenever you log into your machine, you select the corresponding region, because here all the resources is going to be configured in this particular region, which you are going to select from here. Okay, so if you have created here all the resources like a Linux machine and other resources here in this particular region, okay, then make sure whenever you log in, you select the proper region. Otherwise, if you created your account, your Linux machine on Tokyo, and next time you logged in with the Sydney region, then you will not able to see your machine because your machine is the Tokyo region, right? So make sure to select the proper region. This is the very first thing you have to do once you log into your EC2 console. Okay, after that you have to go to the main menu. Okay, and from here you have to select for the EC2. Okay, so here you can say this is a EC2, otherwise you can search here as well in this search option. Okay, so all the instance or virtual machine related configurations are there in the EC2. So go to your EC2 dashboard. Okay, so once you're in EC2 dashboard, then on the left hand side you will see the multiple different options. To create a virtual machine, you can click on instances. If you have any instances are there, then you can see all the instances will be listed here. Okay, and all the instances that we create, okay, these instances are of some specific configuration in terms of RAM and then CPU cores, etc., which is reflected in the instance type. Okay, so when we create the machine, we have to ensure that which instance type we are selecting, and that is based on what is the requisite, what is our requirement for the number of cores, CPU, and the number the size of the RAM. Based on that, we select the particular instance type. Okay, and if you would like to explore the different instances type, you can click on this instance type column on the left hand side, and here you will see a lot of long list here. Okay, each and every instance is categorized with a name. For example, if I search for the T2, okay, so you can see here the T2.extras, T2.micro, T2.large. These are the different machines that we create. And on the right hand side, you can see on demand Windows pricing. So this is the when your machine is up and running. So this is the charge that you have to pay. You can see here it is very less. If you go for a very less configuration, that charge will be very less, right? Which we can see on the right hand side. So this is the very important thing that you should understand when you are going to create a machine. Okay, even you will get a drop box to select which size you want to configure. Okay, so for WebLogic server, okay, if you are going for a admin server and then node manager and then one of the managed servers, okay, so even you go with a T2 dot small, that is sufficient with 2 GB of RAM. You can assign a less memory to your admin server and your managed servers, okay, like 256 MB or 512 MB. But if you're planning to deploy your applications for and then do some exercises, then you can go for the T2 dot medium, which is with the 4 GB of RAM. Okay, and two virtual CPU. So you will get two virtual CPU along with the 4 GB of RAM with the T2 dot medium machine. Okay, and so go to instances to create a new virtual machine, and then on the right hand side you will see option launch instances. So click on launch instances. So when we configure the machine, okay, there are multiple networking configuration we have to take care specifically on the cloud. Okay, but the good thing is you don't need to worry about all these things if you are working for a demo purpose. Okay, demo and learning purpose, because everything will be taken care by the AWS. You have to provide only few details to create your virtual machines, and within a minute of a time your virtual machine will be ready and you can able to log in. You don't need to worry about the networking configurations. Everything will be configured automatically for you. Okay, so very first thing, you have to provide a name here. Okay, for your virtual machine. So let me provide a name WLS and then node 1. This will be my machine name. Okay, and here second thing, you need to select the OS image, which OS you want to install. So I'm going with the Red Hat, so I have clicked on the Red Hat. Okay, and then you will see a drop box where you can select the different OS images, like which OS version you want to install. So I am going with the Red Hat 9. Okay, and I would recommend you also go with the Red Hat 9, not for 10, because in the 10 the remote access method has been changed. That is some RDB process is there. Okay, and I'm going to follow the standard way, which is the VNC server process. For that, you can select the Red Hat 9 version here. Okay, prompt you will get the and click on confirm changes. Right, so we have given the name and then we have selected the Red Hat and then we have selected the OS version 9, and this is the default that has been selected, which is a 64-bit architecture of your operating system. And this is the important point what I was talking about, instance type. What is the instance type? So if you have created a new account, okay, and then this is the free tier eligible T3.micro, okay, which will contain 1 GB of memory and 2 virtual CPU. Okay, so this will be of free tier eligible. So now you can look for that. There is a as I said, there are a lot of resources that are free for use initially for some period of a time. Earlier it was 1 year, and right now I think again it is for 1 year itself. You can create this machine with this configuration, okay, and which will be free. You don't need to pay anything for this one for a year of a time or whatever the free validity is there as of now. Okay, so but apart from that, if you need to have a machine with some high configuration, then you can click on a Dropbox, and here you can see the different configurations. So, okay, so I am going with the T2 dot medium. So I will get two virtual CPUs along with the 4 GB of RAM. Okay, I am going the 4 GB of RAM minimum. Okay, and the charges you can see on the right hand side. Here you can see this is the charges of the on the hourly basis that you have to pay when your machine is up and running. Okay, which is very less. And then to log into the machine, we log into the cloud machine initially with the help of key pairs, private and public key, not with the username and password. Okay, later you can enable the username and password as well once your machine is ready, but initially you need to log in with your key pair. So that means you have to create a new key pair here. If you have created any key pair earlier, it will be displayed here. Otherwise, you have to click on the create new key pair. Okay, so let me click on create new key pair. Here you can give the name of your key pair. So let me give the key pair name is WebLogic. Okay, so go with the default RSA, and because we'll log in with the putty tool, so select the .ppk format here. Okay, this is the only thing that you have to do, and click on create key pair. Okay, and once it is done, the private key, your private key will be downloaded in your system. Okay, and the corresponding public key will be there on the machine that we are going to create. So once you will log in, so this private key will be authenticated against the public key that will be already there in your machine, and it will be allowed to log in to the machine, right? Then the next one is the networking configuration. So as I said, you don't need to worry about this one. The AWS is going to take care of everything for you, specifically for learning and demo purpose, not the production environment. When you're in a live production environment, then we do all this configuration as a customized for our environment. Okay, so here you go with the VPC, which is displaying here by default. Okay, or if it is the first time that you have created your Amazon account, that it may prompt you to create a default VPC. Okay, so here inside the networking, select all the default configurations. Okay, you don't need to set anything else. And here, if you see this option, then allow all these things. Allow HTTPS traffic from internet. Allow HTTP traffic from internet. That means if you deploy any web applications in your environment, in your machine. Okay, for example, we are going to install the WebLogic server, and we have to access the admin console, right? So our WebLogic will be installed on AWS cloud, but we are going to access the admin console from our local Windows system. So to allow this traffic, okay, from local system or public network to go to your AWS cloud in your data center, we have to enable this HTTP and HTTPS traffic. If you are going to use the HTTPS protocol, then this is you need to enable. For HTTP, you need to enable this one. So these two things you need to take care about. Okay. Then next, what is the size that you need for your storage? So you can see here up to 30 GB is eligible for free tier users. Okay, so I'm going to here for 30 GB, which is I think sufficient because we are only going for the WebLogic installation, right? So 30 I have given, and these are the details that you need to take care only. Okay, and very basic details: name of your machine, and which is the OS image. We have selected Red Hat. Then we have given the selected the Red Hat image, 9 version of Red Hat. Then the default 64-bit architecture. Then we have selected the instance type based on the memory we need, right? Then we have created a key pair with the name of WebLogic, and where the private key has been downloaded in our local system. Okay, for networking, we have selected all the default details, along with we allowed the HTTP and HTTPS traffic from the outside in the EC2 machine, right? Then we have given the storage, what is the storage minimum requirement. Okay, and all done. If you need more than one machines with the same configuration, you can specify here. So as of now, it is one. If you want the two machines with this same configuration, change it to. It will automatically configure two machine for you. Okay. So now after that, you need to click on the launch instances. Okay, so it will take couple of seconds for you to launch the instances, and then you will see successfully launched. That means the machine initiation has been done successfully. It is initiated. Now again, go back to your EC2 dashboard. Okay, and you can refresh your screen. So you will see here the machine status is pending as of now, right? The instance type we have selected T2.medium. You can just refresh. Okay, so within a minute of a time, or even before that one, your machine will be up and ready. So you just keep refreshing the window. Okay, now you can see within a seconds of a time your machine is up and running. So that means your Linux machine is up and ready, and you can easily access this machine from the internet. Okay, and you can start your working on that one. So now to access your machine which you have created on the EC2, okay, we need a public IP because we are accessing the machine from the public network internet. So we need the public IP. So by default, when we create this machine, it assign a public IP and a private IP. So one important thing, this private IP will remain same for your machine, but every time you are going to shut down and restart your machine, this public IP is going to be changed. Okay, because this is ephemeral in nature. If you need this static public IP which not change, okay, for that you need to configure the elastic IP. Okay, so elastic IP is something to reserve a static public IP for your machine, but for that you need to pay some charges if you need a static IP. Okay, so otherwise don't go with the EIP, and then always go with this public IP option, default one. So whenever you restart your machine, make sure this IP is going to be changed, or along with that the corresponding DNS. So public IP, and there is a corresponding public DNS. So this will change. Okay, so this public DNS we or this public IP we use to access the admin console. So make sure after the installation, anytime you are going to restart your machine, your IP or this DNS will change. Okay, otherwise you will feel that why my admin console is not accessible, because your IP and this DNS will get changed in every restart. This is one of the important point you need to remember here, right? So now my machine is up and running. So what I will do, I will access my machine with the help of putty. So first I will take my this key file, okay, and I will paste it on my desktop. So this is my file that I have copied on my desktop. So now I will go back and I will take my public key. I will go to putty. I will specify the IP address. And now authentication is going to be with the help of keys, as I said initially, right? Public and private key, which we have created during creation of machine. So to access our machine with the help of private key, go to SSH, authorization, credentials. And here in the private key, click on browse, and then go to your desktop, and then select the machine which we have key which we have created, weblogic.ppk, and click on open, right? So we have selected the authentication key, right? And this is our public key, public IP we have given. Now click on open, click on accept. By default the username for EC2 instances are EC2-user. Okay, so make sure to provide the username as EC2-user. And now you can see the authentication is done with the help of public key, and the corresponding private key we have given inside the setting sections here, right, in the authentication. And the corresponding public key is already there in the EC2 machine, so I can able to access my machine and it is up and ready, right? So this is a straightforward way and very simple way by which you can create an EC2 machine in a simple couple of steps, and your machine will be ready within a seconds of a time. It will take only the time to provide the inputs. After that, within a minute of a time, your machine will be ready and you can able to log in with the help of public IP. Right. So this is the way how we can create a Linux machine on the EC2. Now the next step is there are some steps that we need to follow, like we need to update the system because this is a fresh machine, new machine. So we need to update the system packages, and then we'll see in the next session how to install the graphical user interface tool to access the remote this UI of your Linux machine, right? Because when we are going to install the WebLogic using graphical user interface, or when we are going to create the domain using the graphical user interface, so our machine is a Linux machine which is running on EC2 instance, and we need to access the graphical user tool from our local system, right? So for that we need to install some tools in the Linux machine, right? And that after that we will access with the help of local system with the help of some tools like the tight VNC, and there are multiple local tools are there which we can utilize to access the graphical user interface of my Linux machine. Okay, and after that we will create a username and passwords and users for our WebLogic installation, that we have to enable the swap size because there is by default the swap size is 0 in EC2 machine, and we'll disable few firewalls. So there are multiple steps that we need to follow, okay, for to make your machine be ready for the WebLogic installation, right? So this we are going to cover in the next session.